Yo, what the fuck is up? Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. I don't know if Jeff is joining. I I need to take off these headphones. Okay. I don't know why I try going with the headphones every single time. Jeff is still up. He's up and he's tweeting. He told me well, he didn't tell me. I asked him if he wanted the link to the live, so we will see if Jeff makes it. But stay tuned. Like the live stream or whatever the hell. I appreciate you all. I'm about to go into the notes on the game. I'm gonna have a drink really quick. Hope you all do too, or whatever you partake in. As long as it's not fucking black tar heroin, I think we're fine here. But oh my god, what like a beautiful, ugly, beautiful win. I just can't believe I'm just like I'm so fucking I don't man, I have so many notes on the game. We're gonna get to it in a second here. I cannot believe how that game went down. Unbelievable. Jeff definitely called it. Listen, that's a good vibes only parlay. Um, it did not hit because he had Yanni Gord scoring a goal, but the Kraken won, and every time he tweets it out, they win a game. So we've got to stay on top of Jeff. Please stay on top of Jeff for that. I'm just, I'm fucking blown away right now. I just, everyone just, obviously aside from like epic fucking win, like let's go. Uh, Want to hear all of your thoughts, so please share, comment, all that good stuff. And let's start talking about this game. I am going to go into the notes of the game here. Jeff pops in, that would be awesome. So I'm just going to keep an eye on my phone and see if he can make it in. He should be able to. I don't know if it'll be for long, but here we go. Um, I don't even know. I don't even know where to freaking start with this game, man. I mean, unbelievable, right? So, I mean, the first period was weird. I mean, like Detroit had a lot of bounces that just were not going their way. Wide open net, were unable to get a goal. The Kraken were saved early on, and it kind of felt like the energy, right, was in favor of the Seattle Kraken. Shout out to James. I appreciate that on the shave. It feels weird. I don't think I'm ever doing it again. But he said I didn't have a chance to watch it, so I'm stoked for the recap. So yeah, so first period, pucks just not bouncing Detroit's way, unsure of like really what's going on there. Um, and the Kraken were just kind of able to stay in the game as a result of that. Again, wide open net at one point for Detroit. I mean, like wide fucking open net. I mean, like I could have scored a goal. I've been put on ice skates before, unable to do it. Um, After that, just some extra notes here. Mo Sider going after Matty Beniers with the cheap hit, going on him high, hitting him like upper neck, lower neck, upper shoulders, lower neck, and head. It was cheap as shit. Afterwards, immediately turns around and starts shoving down Beniers. Maddie's like, "Fuck this," and he starts throwing blows. And you know what? Like, no, I don't want Maddie Beniers to be fighting with fucking Mo Sider or fighting anybody really. But at the end of the day, like in the context of the game, um, this was totally called for. I mean, this is something that Maddie had to do because for whatever reason this year, like I don't know if the league is looking at the Kraken as a soft team or what's going on, but like people are coming for the Seattle Kraken stars. I mean, like McCann has been leveled almost every game. I think tonight was like the first game of the season that he didn't take a monster hit. Um, Karche got boarded twice. The second time he got boarded was by Daniel Sprong. It was just a dirty fucking hit. I mean, these guys are getting taken out left and right. So at some point, like they're going to have to just fend for themselves. I mean, it is what it is. We don't want to see our stars fighting. It happens. Um, all right, so more notes here. Uh, at first, the penalty kill was fucking great. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast that came out today. If you listen to it, I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but I also tweeted it out during the game. The Red Wings are not only the top goal scoring team in the NHL with 5 goals a game, but they're second in the league on the power play. They're at 39% and change on the season. They're fucking ridiculous. And the PK early on for the Kraken was absolutely killing it. I mean, they were stopping everything. And I just thought it was a great look. I was like, all right, this is great. Like, puck is not bouncing their way. Our PK is looking strong. I'm all for it. Schwartzy again scores on the power play. I could be wrong on this stat. I'm pretty sure that's the third power play goal that he's had on the season. So even though the Kraken's fucking PP has not been strong, like middle of winter PP, Schwartzy's is the opposite. That guy's got a fucking Schwartz on him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, so he's been killing it. Schwartzy again scores at even strength. He's got 2 goals on the night. He ends up with 2 goals. I can't believe we're looking at a Schwartzy hat trick. And honestly, if we're looking at like very, very, very early season MVPs for this team, I think it's okay to talk about Jaden Schwartz being that dude because he's kind of that dude. Ty Cartier, breakaway goal, absolute snipe. The Seattle Kraken, they end up going up 3-1 in the third period. And, I shouldn't feel this way because I'm a Seattle sports fan, but I started feeling like way too fucking comfortable being like, damn, man, the Kraken are controlling the game. We're up 3-1. There's 1 period left. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I don't know, Joey. How about fucking everything? So, the Red Wings ended up scoring on their power play early in the third period. That was their 3rd power play opportunity of the night. So at that point, I was like, okay, we've held them to like 33%. It's still pretty high, but it's lower than what their average is. So, you can kind of take whatever victory you can get. 2 more fucking power play opportunities for the Detroit Red Wings. And guess what? They score on both. There's a double minor, which I don't know why it was called a double minor on Shorzy for the high stick. That's a 4-minute penalty. They end up scoring, I think, like 30 seconds into that. And then we had to fight for our fucking lives for the remainder of that period. That sucked. Right after that, they go on the power play again. They score another power play goal. So that's 3 power play goals in the third period. All of a sudden, the game is tied 3-3. Hold on, Jeff is texting this fucking guy. Good news is, I think Jeff is popping in. So this will be the first fucking time. He's like, is there a link? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's in the email. All right, Jeff pops in. We'll figure this out because there's an echo for some reason. It is what it is. Anyways, tie game 3-3, and then they, in the Detroit Red Wings, 4-3 lead in the third period, and it looks like this team just blew a fucking 3-1 lead. I mean, are we really? Is this really what is going to happen? Absolutely unbelievable. Just I have no words. I mean, everyone's watching it. We're just so dejected. Like, we've been the better team all night. We can't stop taking fucking penalties. We give up 3 power play goals in the third period to tie the game. Now we're down by a goal. Everything was just not looking good for the Seattle Kraken. And lo and behold, I made a note here. Spronger did board Cartier in the third period. Father Canner, late third period, a minute and 20 seconds left. The guy ends up scoring a goal. Unbelievable fucking play. I mean, just a beautiful setup. And he had a lane and he kind of shifted to his left. He had a defenseman in front of him. He shifted. He found his lane. He shoots. He's got a fucking snipe on him. And it ends up going in. The game is tied. There's a little bit over a minute left in the game. And I'm like, oh my God, these boys like just secured a point at minimum. I can't believe that. Of course, it's Father Canner of all fucking people, which is another point of like why I don't want him to be fighting because we need him playing. But just an unbelievable goal by Father Canner. And then let's go into overtime. 3-on-3. It looks kind of weird. Like the Kraken were controlling the puck. I don't know, like I didn't really see any decent scoring chances. All of a sudden, the Red Wings, here they come. And it's like, shit. I mean, they have a great opportunity. They hit one off the post. DeCourt, I thought, was in a great position to really strengthen that and not give the Red Wings a chance to put the game away. And what ends up fucking happening is it bounces off the post. The Kraken get it. They push it out. Dunn's pushing it up the fucking ice. The 3-on-1, just like a 3-on-2 opportunity. Dunn, beautiful pass. 2 of the Red Wings get caught up in the corner, and they both end up falling down. Eberle ends up falling down with him. He gets back up. McCann gets the puck. He looks like he's going to shoot, and Eberle is cross ice, like kind of on a knee, just looking at him like, dude, I got this shot. And Eberle opts – oh, sorry, not Eberle. McCann opts to pass it over to Eberle, who fucking slings it in with not a lot of time left on the clock. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's sudden death, and the Kraken end up winning 5-4 in overtime. I mean, just an unbelievable fucking game. I was completely wrong on the pod today when I said that I thought the goals were going to be under. I just had like a weird feeling about it. Could not be happier to be wrong because at the end of the day, the Seattle Kraken winning is all I give a shit about. I'm blown away by this team's resolve. at the same time, it's incredibly frustrating because you have a game where, again, it doesn't look like it's going Detroit's way. Things are kind of working out for the Seattle Kraken in that regard. We take advantage. Schwartz is hot, 2 goals, one of them on the power play. Cartier, friend of the pod, he has an absolute snipe. It's 3-1 going into the third period, and we start getting a little bit comfortable. We're not like talking shit, but we're like, hey, we're feeling pretty good. Maybe we're going to steal one on the road here. And all of a sudden, 3 power play goals in a row, another fucking goal. Next thing you know, we're down 4-3. And then we're like, there's no way this is going to happen. And Father Canner fucking saves us, man. You go to the Church of Father Canner on a Sunday because that guy comes in and absolutely saves the Kraken in this game. And then he makes the beautiful pass to Eberle in overtime that ends up stealing it. I mean, I just can't. I'm blown away. I mean, like, is the game frustrating? Does the team have a lot to work on? Absolutely. But, like, the Red Wings have won 5 in a row. They're one of the best teams in the league. We're away. It's the start of a road trip. And for the Kraken to go in to Little Caesars Arena, which, by the way, I think it's fucking hilarious that it's Little Caesars Arena, and to take this win, I mean, I honestly don't give a shit how they did it. And the guys showed fight and they showed fucking moxie. I mean, again, people are arguing, right? Like, they don't want to see people like Mears in the middle of a tilt or getting into a fight or anything like that. Listen, everything is not black and white. You have to take everything by the context of which it is happening in the game. At that point in the game, I am all for Beniers stepping in and telling Mo Sider, who's a giant fucking defenseman, fuck you. Like, you're not going to check me high and then not get called. And by the way, the refs tonight were atrocious. It doesn't matter if the Kraken end up winning. It is what it is. The refs were absolutely atrocious tonight. They don't call that. And then Sider turns around. He's shoving Eberle down on the ice when he's already down. It's like, you're going to fuck with that energy right now? Like, no one fucks with that energy. Like, Jordan Eberle loves to listen to Nickelback, and that's the guy that you're going to start pushing around? Like, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend my teammates. And it wasn't even like an actual fight. So I'm not really worried about, the chance of, Beniers getting injured in that particular scenario. I am just happy that he did it in that moment because for whatever reason, and we've talked about this, I think, for the past 2 weeks, the Seattle Kraken have like a target on their back in terms of like teams are taking a fucking run at our players, and not just our players, but our star players. And it's something that like the team, I think, has definitely recognized and noticed. And the only way they're going to come out of this is if they start nutting the fuck up and start defending themselves. And sometimes in that moment, you're going to have a guy that you really don't want to see fight have to fend for himself. And it is what it is. I mean, again, I'm referencing today's podcast episodes. So if anybody's listened to it, I sincerely apologize. And by the way, whatever y'all want to talk about, comment, whatever, I'm waiting on Jeff to pop in here. I keep switching over between the thing I use and the actual YouTube. But whatever y'all want to talk about, please leave comments for it. And Jeff talked about this on today's episode, but he was like, I think the guys are going to come out of October fine, but I think they're going to come out a little bit bruised and a little bit beat up. And that's kind of been what's been going on. I mean, these guys are taking their there's a little bit of an echo. Fuck, I don't know how to fix that. Sorry. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what to do. And then when Jeff pops in, I think we're fucked. I mean, I got to figure this out. I'll talk to our podcast network tomorrow. I apologize for that. I have no idea. It's just plugged straight in. And I think maybe it's because I'm not doing it straight to YouTube. It's through the app that we use in order to do all of our episodes. And then you can just link it directly to YouTube. There's a little bit of a lag here. Anyways, I think Jeff is trying to log in. I'm getting like email notification out the fucking ass, so I apologize. Anyways, yeah, I think Jeff is right. I think the guys are going to come out of October a little bit beat up, and it is what it is. Yes, headphones, Christine, are off. I appreciate you. Hopefully you can see me. And you notice that I'm not wearing any headphones. Plus I got some like new invisible shit that no one knows about. I don't know how I'm going to hear Jeff. I might have to. I wonder if I can like unmute. No, because everything's plugged in. Whatever, dude. We'll figure this out. Worst case scenario, it's a fucking train wreck, and then we'll deal with it for the next Kraken Pod After Dark. We're figuring this out on the fly. It's all good. But yeah, the boys are a little bit beat up. They're going to continue to get beat up a little bit. But I think what we're doing is we're sending a message to the league that this is not okay, and we're not going to do this anymore. So that's how I feel about the game. Again, whatever y'all want to talk about, please leave comments or do whatever you need to do. I am going to take a sip of this delicious, delicious, cheap wine, and then we can talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But let me know also, did I miss anything? Did I miss any particular notes on the game? If I did, please let me know. I take notes in real time while I'm also tweeting out the game and I'm setting up the live. So I try to cover as much as I can, but things might slip through the cracks, and I only try to cover like the most important notes. Also, I have to mention this. Um, and Melissa, I just saw your comment here. I'm definitely going to address it. Um, I fuck. What was I going to say? I fucking called it on the pod. I called it. I was like, Spronger is going to be coming at Kraken players. And again, I talked about this in the last Kraken pod after dark. But he is that dude. Like he's got this motor in him where he's just always ready to go. He's like that on and off the ice. It's a big reason why Seattle let him go. They don't want players like that in their organization. I personally kind of like it. It's a fucking issue though, when he's doing things like fighting, uh formula race car drivers in the off season, which he was doing, and there was like some pending legal shit for him. I knew that he was going to go after uh, just some Seattle Kraken players tonight. I did not think that he was going to board Cartier like he did in the third period, but that's just who Spronger is. You love him when he's on your team, and when he's not on your team, you're like, fuck this motherfucker. But yeah, that's how things are looking for Spronger. And I'm going to address a comment really quick from Melissa. And by the way, Melissa, we also opened up your gifts on the episode today. Thank you so much. It was amazing. But anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? God damn it, my ADHD is kicking in stronger. Oh, your comment. I'm sorry about that. See, my fucked up part is I feel like I actually do these things better when I'm drinking a little bit. Fuck me. See, I lost it again. Stronger. Oh, your comment about Wenberg. Jesus Christ. Sorry, it's been a day. Your comment on Wenberg not playing so well. Um, I've been I've been quietly kind of on that wagon since like game one, game two. I mean, honestly, he was a guy last year I didn't really like. Listen, Wenberg is a really good fucking dude. He's handsome as shit, good guy, great family. We don't fucking pay somebody to be a good dude on the team. Every time he has the puck, if it's a scoring opportunity, for the most part, he's going to pass. His style of play is completely underwhelming. Now, to his credit, I did like his play towards the end of the game tonight. I thought he was battling the puck. There was a particular forecheck towards the end of the game where like Wenberg was really, really battling some dudes for possession of the puck. That allowed the Kraken to keep being aggressive with it. With that being said, for the most part, his game to me is incredibly underwhelming. I think he's a guy that we're going to see gone in the future because he's just somebody that we can replace. Um, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Wenberg. And it's a touchy subject, right? Because people fucking love him. Like I love him. Again, handsome as shit. Give me all the Wenberg photos. I'm not gonna, turn into a fucking book talk or anything like that. But, again, Wenberg's a great dude. Um, but his style of play is just incredibly underwhelming. And I think we'd be better off if we just replace him in the future. Yeah, Ty Jacobs, you're absolutely right. He's a motherfucking man rocket. But you know what? Like we're not paying dudes for that. So, all right, I'm gonna have some wine, and then let's talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. Leave comments on whatever. I'll scroll up and go to the top so I don't miss anything. And then we can talk about the game, talk about fucking life, talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is a huge. I mean, obviously everyone knows that this is a huge win. Before I take a sip of wine, I just remembered something else. I also talked about on the podcast how I thought that despite the Kraken's overall record, I think this road trip might actually look really positive. I think the Kraken has some opportunities to really surprise some teams on this road trip and come back to Climate Pledge in a week when all is said and done and just be in a better position and get the fan base more fired up. Tonight was a huge test. They passed that test. Carolina, we've already beaten Carolina. They're still not fully healthy. There's a good chance they have Aho back for their next game. That makes me a little nervous. Svechnikov, he's coming back. I don't think he's going to be back for the Kraken game, and that's huge. I think he was their third leading point scorer last season. I want to see him back playing for Carolina, just not when we play them coming up soon. And then Florida and Tampa Bay, these are really two. These are really two historically good teams. But if you look at their overall record, I think it's like 2-3-0 and then like 3-1 or something like that. But like they both have gotten off to slow starts. And I think the Kraken can catch them in their barns while they're still sleeping a little bit. So look forward to that because I think that on paper, if you just look at our opponents coming up and the fact we're on the road and the fact that we haven't been playing that well, you're like, man, we're fucked. This road trip might suck. But I actually think that it can end up going pretty well for the Kraken. So we'll see how it ends up going. But that's my overall thoughts on the road trip. And again, I said that on the podcast. So if people have already listened, I apologize. It came out like an hour before puck drop, maybe even less than that. I was trying to get it out earlier. But sometimes it doesn't always work that way. So apologies in advance. I'm going to drink some wine. Y'all leave comments. Let's talk about everything. Still waiting on Jeff to get in. I don't even know if he has access to StreamYard. This fucking guy relies on me so much. Access to fucking. So you know what it is? I just noticed this is that there's not a delay on actual StreamYard where I'm streaming everything. It's a delay going over to YouTube, which is connected to, which is why there's an echo and why all that shit. So I'm going to talk to the network tomorrow and get that sorted out. No, Jeff is not asleep. Melissa, to your point, he is texting me, asking me where the link is. I'm like, I've already emailed it over to you. And then I'm getting email notifications of somebody trying to sign in. Oh, there he is. He's in the chat. So that's helpful. I think Jeff might just be joining from the chat. So everyone feel free. Jeff is here, not his beautiful, beautiful face, but you can see him in the chat. Yeah, the delay on YouTube is a little weird. We'll figure it out. All right. Jeff is here. I'm sure he'll be popping in and talking some shit in the chat. I'm going to drink a little bit more wine, and then I'm going to catch up on comments, and we can talk about everything. So give me like 1 second. I also just finished this bottle of red. And it's probably a good thing because I'm in such a good mood. I honestly would just keep drinking for no fucking reason. I think Jeff is just now figuring out how to use YouTube. That's really helpful. Way to go, Jeff. I really appreciate that. All right. I'm scrolling up. Let's go to the comments. I mean, if there's anything we can talk about aside from like, let's fucking go, boys. I mean, again, unbelievable win. It's so crazy that this early in the season, despite overall the disappointment in how the Seattle Kraken have been playing, they have like these two. Ty. I will stay hydrated. Thank you, Jeff, for supporting drinking too. Um, it's crazy how at this point in the season, with how early things are, the two wins that the Seattle Kraken have, like you can legitimately look at and be like, these are two already kind of signature wins because of like the position they put themselves in. So that's a really interesting thing to kind of take note of. Again, I want to see them take the energy from this game and use it going forward. I don't need to reiterate what I just said about their road trip schedule coming up. I really do believe that they have a chance to sneaky win some games. But if you go into a place like Little Caesars Arena, Jeff's hometown fucking ice rink, if you go to a place like that, and you're able to take a win away from the hottest, arguably the hottest team in the league, that is a huge morale booster. And for them to do it again the way they did it, the resolve. I mean, granted, the beginning of the third period sucked. I mean, the team 3 power play goals. I mean, that the Red Wings are top 3 in the league on the power play. You can't keep getting dumb fucking penalties. You're up 3-1. The game is yours to lose. And the Kraken gave it away, but they could have easily folded. It could have easily just said, we're done. We're not good. It is what it is. And they fight back. I mean, the Jared McCann goal was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful goal. A little bit like a minute and 20 seconds left in the game. And then again, he finds Epperly for the pass and overtime on the breakaway after the puck dings off the other side of the post. I mean, it was just, I mean, the resolve and the fight and this team, like Jeff said, and I know he's here, like this is a team that's going to fight. This isn't a team like the Washington Capitals where you're just like they're rolling over and they're fucking dead. And that's the thing that you want to see from your team, right? Like you want to see your guys fight. And like that's what they're doing. The result might not overall be what we would like them to be up until this point in the season, but like give them some time. Give them some time. And you know what? A couple weeks will go by fast. Turbo will come back. We'll figure out the lines. I already had people that were tweeting at Kraken Pod tonight being like, what are we going to do when he comes back? Because like Cartier has to get his minutes. Listen, the Seattle Kraken are going to figure out ways to get Ty Cartier his minutes. Patrick Cartier is fucking legit. He's a real dude. He's not just a cool name or a guy from AHL. Like we're not being, homers. This is a guy that deserves serious time on ice, and he's getting it. And it's showing. He almost had a second goal tonight. The goal that he had was an absolute snipe. He's tough. He's gritty. He works his ass off. He's a team guy. I mean, like if you built a hockey player in a lab, it's Ty Cartier. That's the guy you want to have on your team. And we're lucky that he's with the Seattle Kraken. Again, I looked up the odds for Rookie of the Year. They're plus 5,500. And if you know anything about betting, and I know very little, very, very little, but I can tell you what, those odds are fucking high. So if you want to throw $5 or $10 down on that, I do not blame you whatsoever. All right. I just went off on another tangent. I'm about to go through comments here again. Is Jeff talking shit? I haven't read anything here. Oh no, he's just saying Joey drinking too. So that's cool. From Melissa. And dude, I mean, like Melissa, thank you again so much for the gift. I mean, gifts that you sent to me and Jeff. No one has to send us anything. Like legitimately, Jeff and I have talked about like Patreon and all that, and this is not a knock on anyone that does it. It's just not what we're interested in doing. Like we're just, we're not. It's just not something that we're interested in from a business model standpoint. People don't need to send us gifts. It's very nice when you do. And it's really great because obviously with us not being in Seattle, we don't have access to a lot of this stuff. When we do build out a proper studio to record everything that people send us will just be featured on the streams. So you're basically just help us design a whole set. So we're going to have like a set that's been designed by the Kraken Pod Fam, which is so fucking cool. I mean, seriously, it's unbelievable to start a podcast and then in year 3, which is already, by the way, insane to think about. But in year 3, to have the support of people like Melissa and Ty and Jared, there's a couple Jareds, like a pro Jared podcast. But I mean, there's so many people that are in the Kraken Pod Fam. We love you all. Seriously, wouldn't be able to do this without you. I mean, like literally, because if no one was listening or supporting our shit, we wouldn't do it. We'd be like, all right, well, we're done, and we tried, and no one cared. Melissa's husband was like, we're going to score. Well, shout out to your husband because I did not feel that way, Melissa. I was like, we're fucked. This is not going to go good. Wenberg playing poorly. Yeah, I have not liked him play at all this season. I think this is something that the coaches are very, very, very aware of. It's just not the time to address it. We have guys that are waiting in the wings. They are not ready. They need the reps. They need to get more time in the AHL. If they get sent to the Kraken, they're going to be on the bottom lines. We just don't have the room for them right now. But Wenberg in the future is most likely going to be gone, and that is completely fine by me. And I will thank you for your service, Alex Wenberg. And all the times I thought you should have shot the puck, but instead you passed, and it broke my heart. I don't know if Jeff is still here. I'm still going through comments here. Yeah, Jeff called it. I mean, Jeff called the game. Over on goals, I was wrong on that. I said that I thought the Kraken, there's a good chance they lose tonight. I was wrong on that. I've never been happier to be wrong. I mean, like, listen, I do like my stats. I like to fucking nerd out. At the end of the day, I'm a vibes guy. And the vibes after the Rangers game was, again, trash. It was like a very similar feeling to the vibes that I felt after the Colorado game, where I'm like, what is this team doing? Do they even give a shit? I mean, we're paying attention. We care. Do they care? Whatever. James Nelson's comment, Joey Decord, Pro Joey Podcast, is such a rad dude. I met him last year when he was playing for Coachella. Yeah, Joey's fucking rock. We're a Pro Joey Podcast for a reason. It's not just because of me and Joey Decord. Seriously though, Joey Decord does seem like a pretty awesome dude. I've watched a lot of stuff on him. I have specifically asked the Kraken PR team to please give us a fucking interview. That's going to be hard to do. Once he became goalie 1B for the organization, I mean, his schedule now is nuts. Not saying that it wasn't before when he was with Coachella, but yeah, his schedule now is even more so just insanity. So I think it's going to be hard for us to be able to talk to Joey at least mid-season. I want to do something during the All-Star break, but I'm also pushing for the organization to fly me and Jeff out for the Winter Classic. And by pushing, I mean I mentioned it on the podcast, and then I actually don't take any proactive action. So, anyways, moving on. Yes, Cartier. I'm going through comments again here, everybody. So if there's anything you want to talk about, please leave it. Cartier is the workhorse. Jared Edge, this is a great question. I'm going to take a sip of wine, and then we're going to address the question. 1 second here. If y'all have a drink or something, by all means, enjoy. Making sure Jeff's not texting me. All right, cool. I think he's still trying to log in. I'm getting all these email notifications. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? All right. I was addressing the comment from Jared Edge. There's a couple of them. Is it too early to start saying Jeff Lasso again? No, dude. Jeff Lasso was back. Like he freaking again. He called it out on this week's episode. Like he was incredibly positive. But you know what? The rant from last week was much needed. Like the team or whoever, they needed to hear that. It was warranted. It was necessary. Jeff had some very choice words. He went to another level that I knew existed within him, but I had really haven't seen him reach that point. But you know what? Like the team needed to hear it. He needed to say it, and he's just keeping it real. The other comment I want to address again, and it's regarding my overall thoughts on Shorzy. How did I feel about his play? I was underwhelmed. I didn't think he really contributed a lot. In fact, when I think about his play uh, overall tonight, the thing that sticks out to me the most is his like egregious fucking high stick that got him a double minor. I mean, I'm not knocking the kid. I really like him. It's really hard when you are in a situation where you are a minor league affiliate of a professional fucking hockey team. You're grinding your ass off every day. You're playing for your team. All of a sudden, some injuries happen. And the next thing you know, you're on a flight. I mean, does anybody remember when that happened to Joey Decord? How fucking brutal that was? I do, because it was year one, I believe, because the Kraken didn't have their AHL affiliate yet. So they were still using the Charlotte Checkers. And I remember when Griggs went down and they just gave Joey Decord a phone call, and Joey had to fly cross country for a game. I believe it was in Vancouver. And not only did he fly across the country, they didn't even give the man a nonstop flight. Joey Decord had a fucking layover. So this guy flies across the country, has a layover, finally gets to Vancouver, British Columbia, and then ends up starting in net that night and didn't have that great of a game. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just putting things into context because I don't forget shit like that, because I'm like, you're a multi-million-dollar NHL franchise and you got Joey Decord flying coach taking layover flight? What the fuck are we talking about? I mean, this is insane. I mean, I just can't um I can't believe that. So I don't know what the travel situation was for sure. I love calling him Shorzy. Everyone does. But yeah, I was underwhelmed with his overall play tonight. But with that being said, I mean, he's only got room to grow. The only way you're going to get better is by working on your craft. The only way you can work on your craft is by getting time on ice. And that's exactly what he's doing with the Kraken. So I'm totally fucking cool with it. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on him. Not a knock, still a good dude. All right. YouTube delay, well aware, it sucks. Jeff is here talking shit on me, and then he disappeared. I think he's still trying to figure out how email works. That's cute. Can't wait for Jeff to watch the stream tomorrow because he figured out how to comment. Um, but yeah, James Nelson, to your point about meeting Joey Decord in Coachella, I think that's freaking awesome. Um, I definitely want to have him on the podcast. It's going to happen at some point in the future. I just don't know now with him being the 1B goalie for the organization. From Ty Jacobs, Wings had the PK chasing, also some absolute gross goals. Hopefully, other teams don't learn too much from it. I mean, I agree. I mean, our PK is going to get chased because at the end of the day, to start off, only giving them one goal on 3 attempts in the power play is great because, again, number 2 in the league in power play opportunities. To give them 3 power play opportunities in the third period is not only unacceptable, but then 3 goals on those opportunities is fucking blasphemous shit. It's so it's so egregious. Now I'm just using big words. The wine's flowing. But I was blown away by that. I don't know if the league though can watch that and really learn anything from it. Overall, the Seattle Kraken penalty kill has been pretty solid, which is good. And then also, if you kind of want to zoom out and look at the bigger picture of things, it's like these are these penalties were all easily avoidable. Not only was the game refs like absolute horseshit, but these penalties, like the one on Schulte, for interference, I was like, where the fuck is that? I try to not be a homer. I try to be as objective as possible. Um, but these penalties, they're avoidable. And you know what the reality is, and this is for any sport, and everyone beats this over the head all the time. Um, Jeff is back and talking shit. I like how Jeff is talking shit about posting on YouTube since I was in diapers, but he can't figure out how to sign into the streaming service we've been using for 3 years. Um, so I'm just gonna. It is what it's fucking hilarious. But the biggest thing that everyone says, like when you play against good teams, you can't make mistakes because they're going to capitalize on it, and that's exactly what happened. And in fact, the Kraken are lucky to come away with the win tonight because at the end of the day, when you play a really good team, if you give them enough opportunities to beat you, they're going to beat you. So I think if anything, I would argue that the Seattle Kraken will learn from this, and they will learn that you need to play more disciplined fucking hockey and stop taking stupid penalties and getting caught up in moments because if you eliminate those things, then you're not beating yourself. You're making teams beat you. And the Kraken really, really tried to beat themselves tonight. And thank God we came back. Another comment from Ty Jacobs, which I fucking love. It's a great one. Is who would I give the hat to? Off the top of my head, no brainer whatsoever. It's Jared McCann. Um, Again, I already kind of went through all of my game notes, but I'll mention it again. Jared McCann has the goal that ties the game with a minute and 20 seconds or whatever is left in regulation. The Seattle Kraken were essentially dead to rights. I was not hopeful whatsoever. I thought that they had given, again, the Red Wings too many opportunities to beat them. The Red Wings took advantage. They're a good team. They're at home. We're on the road. That's a wrap. McCann had the ridiculous goal. And then again in overtime, with the 3-on-1, 3-on-2 uh, rush that they had, for him to have the vision to see Eberle come out of the corner where the 2 defensemen had crashed on him, and Eberle's on one knee, but he has a great shot on a pretty much empty net. And for McCann to deliver that pass, it's a no-brainer for me. Jared McCann gets the hat tonight. I mean, there's no reason why he doesn't get the hat. And the best part is that Ty Cartier is going to be the one to give it to him because he earned that the last game, and that's how it is. Melissa made the bet for Ty Cartier Rookie of the Year at plus 5,500. I hope to God that hits for you, and you put a reasonable amount for you on that, and you end up winning a little bit of money. It's like last year. I mean, last year this bet was way more of a given. We were beating it over and over and over and over again that Matty Beniers was going to win the Calder, and the odds were like plus 500. Telling everybody, for the love of God, like I'm not encouraging people to bet responsibly. Let's put a fucking dollar on it. win yourself $50. I mean, do whatever you need to do. And he ended up taking it away. It was the easiest bet of all time. I could have taken out a second mortgage on my home, like gone to like one of those weird places where they give you cashier's checks. You can take out a loan at only 45% interest. I would have fucking done it, and I would have put all that money riding on for Beniers last year. That's how good I feel about it. Do I feel that good about Ty Carche winning Rookie of the Year? Not necessarily, because as Jeff talked about on today's episode that just came out, everybody who listens, Connor Bedard is looking good. I mean, this kid is the real deal. I mean, there's a reason why he is being treated as like the next face of the NHL. Now, with that being said, a lot of things can happen throughout the whole of the season. Ty Carche scored his second goal tonight, and he contributes like a motherfucker. At the end of the day, it comes down to two things: skill and opportunity. He's got the skill. We've seen that. And the guy came in the playoffs last year. What he did in Colorado, burying the Avalanche, and he has the opportunity. He's getting time on ice. That's all you can ask for. I think it's a fun bet. And you know what? I'm going to make that bet tonight, actually, because I need to put my money where my mouth is. And I am going to put some money down. Ty Carche, Rookie of the Year. All right. Moving on beyond that. Sorry that Jeff can't figure out how to log in. It's okay. We'll talk about this maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll call and have a little chit chat, a little private conversation. Anthony says, I can't wait to not be at work for one of these so I can drink along with you. I've actually been pretty tame. There's going to be a night where the Kraken have a ridiculous win, and I just get hammered, and I'm on here, and I might be borderline blackout drunk, and then it's going to get real weird. But, dude, also, I don't know if you can share this. What do you do for work? It's 11 p.m. almost Central Time, so it's almost 9 p.m. That's math. Pacific. So, I mean, shout out to Rush Anthony, who's on here, working the night shift and doing his thing, but also don't get fired by being on a live stream. I mean, it's pretty epic that you're on Kraken Pod After Dark when you're supposed to be working. So, shout out to you, Rush Anthony. Was it Anthony Rush? I don't know. I'm just going by your username. Jeff is talking shit. That's adorable. You've been on YouTube since I was in diapers. I did not realize YouTube was around in 1984. All right, give me a second here. It's wine time. Also, these streams go by fast. I did not realize it's already been 42 minutes. Jesus. My own bald baby face is freaking me out. All right. Catching up on comments, and once we're all caught up, there's nothing else that anyone wants to talk about, we're going to sign off for the night. But here we go. Just covered that. More comments. Joey did it. There's Jeff talking shit. James Nelson says, it was when they were playing in San Diego and Wright was on loan to them. Got to see Wright get a goal too. It was an amazing night. James is referring to the time that he got to meet Joey Cord. I think that's freaking awesome. Dude, you got to see Shane Wright score a goal, and you got to meet Joey Decord. I would say you had a pretty fucking epic night. I mean, in terms of like your hockey fandom, I don't know how long you've been watching for, but I would say that's a top whatever moment. Ty Jacobs says, bro, I shaved too, and it has me all jacked up. I don't know how I feel about it, man. It's fucking me up. Like, I sincerely have not clean shaved my face in 6 years. And I did it because I was Chaz Reinhold from Wedding Crashers, Will Ferrell's character, for this Halloween party I went to. And I was like, I'm just going to shave my face. The second I did that, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I made a grave mistake. So the crazy part is I turned 39 in 2 weeks. And I feel like just me shaving looks like I've taken 10 years off my life. So this is almost 40. That's kind of how I feel right now. So, all right. Ty shaved for the first time in 3 years, basically. Dude, shout out to us. Just going baby face on these motherfuckers. I love it. Rush Anthony says second shift, some off at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Damn, son, we'll get that money. He works at Boeing? That's dope as shit. My uncle worked at Boeing for a very, very, very long time. And then his best friend from high school started like an aviation parts company and hired my uncle, and he has been there ever since. So shout out to Boeing because they create a lot of jobs in the Pacific Northwest, man. So I know exactly where you're at. That's cool as shit. Keep doing your thing. Just, don't get fired for being on this ridiculous Kraken Pod After Dark stream with us. All right, sorry. ADHD phone is still going ham. Also, I forget that every time there's a game, because you kind of forget things during the off season because it's slow and you're grinding it out and you're trying to find hockey news and record podcasts. Jeff is in wine country somewhere getting hammered, trying to pretend like he's wholesome when he's just pounding bottles of wine. I'm in Greece, so you kind of forget that during the season, we're in these hockey games. Like when we're tweeting out stuff during the games, there's so much stuff coming in at us that our Twitter legitimately will freeze over multiple times. And so it's hard to interact with everybody, but you know what? It's a good problem to have. So here we are. Melissa says, thank you for the celebration. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. And you know why I'm happy to do it? Because it's only 11 o'clock. The Kraken, when they are home, which is a lot of the time, right now are still playing hockey. I love this team more than anything. It's fucking brutal. It should be a form of torture in like the Geneva Conventions underneath waterboarding. I mean, legitimately, when I start these Kraken Pod after dark streams, they won't get over until 1:32 in the morning. It's fucking rough. So I am happy to do it when it's only 11 o'clock. So I get to bed by midnight. I can still get almost 8 hours of sleep. So happy to fucking do it. Jeff definitely, to Ty's point, went full duster on StreamYard. It's all good. I think that's it. I caught up on Ty. He hasn't shaved in 3 years. I got Rush. He's on the second shift at Boeing, just stacking cash. Melissa's being awesome and nice and sending us gifts and supporting the podcast. I think that's it. If there's anything else I missed, anything else you want to talk about, please leave it now. We can talk about it. And if not, then we're just going to sign off. And that's going to be that'll be the end of Kraken Pod After Dark. Liking this stream helps out a lot. Sharing it and telling people to watch helps out a lot. Also, we push this on today's episode. Me and Jeff, and I got to give Jeff a lot of credit, even though he's talking shit about my YouTube experience. Me and Jeff have been cranking out a ton of video content, most of which is us being fucking idiots and being stupid. The majority of that is going to 3 places: YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. If you're on there, follow at Kraken Pod. Do us a favor. Share it with other people so they see it. Our Twitter's good. That thing grows organically. It's kind of crazy how fast that grew. I think it's because we do all the live stuff for all the games, but we are putting out a ton of video stuff, and it's all on those channels. So please check us out. Instagram, TikTok, obviously Facebook is there. Facebook is almost at 2,000 followers, by the way, which is fucking crazy. But Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are the 3 areas we're really focusing on, and we're banging out videos almost every day. So please spread the love, like our shit, follow it, whatever. I don't know. I mean, just y'all being here means the world. The more that we do this, the more people will hopefully join us, and then we can start really partying for Kraken Pod After Dark. Right now, it's like a house party. I want to elevate this shit to like fraternity party levels. But y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Kraken Pod Fam. You're holding it down. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely gutty. Just a win of full resolve by this team. I loved what I saw from parts of them. I hated what I saw from parts of them. But at the end of the day, they found a way to win. And good teams find a way to win. And they beat a great fucking team tonight. So take that for what it is. Everyone get some sleep. It's still early for the most part. I'm signing off, and I will see y'all for the next one. We are doing the Kraken Pod After Dark, and I will get Jeff to do it because he needs help fucking logging in. I will do Kraken Pod After Dark, and yeah, we'll do it for the games coming up this week because they're easy, because they're all, unless Halloween things come up, whatever, we'll figure it out. I love y'all. I'm rambling. Good night. Go Kraken. Love y'all, Kraken Pod fam.